Hello out there, you wonderful people. This is Andre, the Game Idea Guy. Thank you once again for lending me your time and your ear and listening into another video from me. And this is going to be my third and final Switch U video, which not meaning that I won't talk about the comparison between the Nintendo Switch and the Wii U ever again, but this will be the final video with Switch U as part of the title. So, ending the trilogy here. My first video was kind of short, my second video was a bit of a long rant, and my third video is more or less, I'm just going to try to cover a few things that maybe missed, or maybe spoke about in a way that could be easily misinterpreted. Firstly, I don't think I really properly covered this group of people, but anyone who's interested in the Switch that may have been interested in the Wii U but didn't pick it up, if you're interested in the possibility of Wii U ports to the Switch, I have no issue with you. And I kind of think I might have glossed over that group very lightly, but I didn't make the point of saying I understand where you would be interested in some third-party games coming. Not third-party, wow. Third-party games are going to be coming, but we don't know at what frequency or how many or what games in particular at this point in time. But for Nintendo's first-party IPs, I could understand some of you guys wanting maybe to have Xenoblade Chronicles exported, to maybe have something like a Super Mario 3D World ported, or a Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker. Dang, I'm blanking out, and there's so many damn fucking exclusives for the Wii U. But I'm just stating I can understand where you might have a passing interest in that, or maybe some of you guys might like to see Bayonetta 2 ported over to the Switch. I can understand where you guys are coming from because you didn't have a Wii U, and not that you were totally disinterested in the Wii U, but there was not enough interest in the Wii U for you to make the jump. Or maybe you were interested and you just couldn't afford it along with the console that you preferred. I understand where you guys would be coming from, so I'm not trying to, I don't want to talk down to you, because I understand where you would be coming from. My real issue is just with the people who either one own the Wii U and purchased all these games already, wanting the exact same games over again, or the people who just completely blatantly said, well, fuck the Wii U, I don't want it, and they're expecting these games to be ported. No, you don't get it that way. Like, you two groups in particular should not expect this shit at all. Like, the people that already own the Wii U and own these games, you should expect new stuff. The people who don't own the Wii U and said fuck the Wii U, you shouldn't expect this shit either, because you didn't want it before. Like, that was my point. That was my main point with the long, very long-winded rant. That was the second video as a part of this particular trilogy. I almost said the wrong word there, and I stopped myself because that could have been taken completely into a different context. But I just wanted to let you guys know, like, I have no I don't even have any ill will toward anyone. It's just like my sense of logic says this makes no sense. Why do you want this? That's kind of how it went with me, and how I'm processing this. The next thing I want to cover is people saying that the Nintendo Switch isn't a gimmick. I really don't understand your way of thinking. It's like literally everything in gaming is some form of a gimmick. The gimmick is the selling point. It's what makes you interested in a product. How could you not think that the Switch is a gimmick, but you think the Wii U is a gimmick? Or you think the Wii is a gimmick? I'm like baffled at this. And I literally had a conversation on G+ earlier today with someone with this exact mindset. It's like, well, Nintendo's stepping away from all that gimmicky bullshit. Like, that's not what he said verbatim, but that's the basic point, the basic premise of what he said. And I'm like, hold on. You think the Wii U's a gimmick, but you can't see that the Switch is also a gimmick? Also a very similar one at that. And I'm like, how do you function in the world where you can't see that literally the selling point of a product is a gimmick? Is it really that gamers are so caught up in themselves and their heads are so far up their own asses that they don't understand basic definitions of words anymore? Please tell me that I just exaggerated that and that is not the truth, because that's sad. That is horribly sad. That is well beyond pitiful. There's no way that you should necessarily link the word gimmick with something bad and then not understand how a gimmick can be a good thing. A failed gimmick is a failed gimmick. If it didn't work out, it didn't work out. That's just how things go. But you can't tell me that the Switch, literally a portable home console, is not a gimmick in and of itself, or that it's not a gimmick that you can swap off controller parts. Like, that is part of the gimmick, to be able to sell you more accessories. And Nintendo's smart. And people for some reason are like blind to this. Like, it's like intentionally being blind to it. Like, you're telling yourself that this isn't a gimmick because you like it. You can like a gimmick. There's nothing wrong with that. It's like people are ashamed to be who they are. Like, how can you're ashamed to be yourself? Like, I mean, I can understand maybe there's some things you don't want other people to know about you. Perfectly fine. I'm not here to get in your personal business. But you can't tell me you're ashamed to be who you are in general as a person. I mean, honestly, if that's the case, then every person who is a gamer should be ashamed of themselves. Especially if you're an adult. You should be ashamed of yourself because you're playing with what would basically amount to a children's toy. But then again, the same thing should follow suit for people who enjoy movies or enjoy comic books or enjoy certain television shows. You should feel ashamed of yourself for liking those things because you're an adult. You should be past the fantasy aspect of these things. At least if we were to follow the general diagnosis of society. To me personally, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna like what I like, and I'm gonna express my opinion on those things. If you don't like it, well, that's on you. Don't make a difference to me. If you don't like something, don't mean that I have to dislike it as well. That's just how it is. Like, I'm just looking at this situation like, where did you learn? Like, I'm not saying this to be mean. I'm literally saying this because if you don't know how to use a dictionary, you don't know how to assess the basic definitions of words and utilize them properly, and this is your native language. And I'm saying, say this again, make sure I say this clearly. This is your native language. What the fuck is wrong with you? These should be simple things. This is stuff that people were taught in like 3rd and 4th grade. How is this hard to understand? And again, I say this constantly, and it's not like a toot to my own horn, but maybe I think too much. Like, maybe I'm not brain dead enough to just allow stupid shit to validate my choices and to validate the things that I like. I really could give a fuck less what anyone else thinks about me. I could give a fuck less what they think about the things I like, and I could give a fuck less if they agree with me. So if I could take that approach, why can't very many other people? And it's not like I'm some uber popular person. I'm some well-known face on YouTube, and I'm some guy that everybody loves and respects. I'm just me, and I'm always going to be me. Whether or not my channel grows to the millions or it stays down in the hundreds, I'm going to be the same person. I'm going to make the same choices. Only difference is I might cut back on the profanity a little bit, because at that point I'm being more responsible as an adult, because I realize that maybe there are a lot more children listening to me than I might realize. That's probably about it. I'll learn some other vocabulary words that I can use in place of a lot of the swears I use. That's about the only change you might get out of me. That, and I'll probably be playing more games. Because at that point, my channel being popular, I'd probably be making a lot of money off of it. Just being honest. That's it. That's what you would get out of me. I'm not going to change at my core as a person, because one aspect of my life is going super great, and I'm not going to forget who I am. It doesn't matter how popular I am. And I got well away from the subject of gimmicks. I got sidetracked because of that. But my what I was thinking just led into that. So I was just like, but I still wonder though, how is it that people can't understand that a gimmick is a selling point? You buy a 4K television. Guess what the selling point was? 4K resolution. That's literally the gimmick. You buy a smart TV. What's the selling point? That the TV has an onboard computer and that it can use different apps for entertainment. That's the gimmick. Why is that so hard to understand? Say you buy, and this goes with anything. Say you buy a treadmill. What's the gimmick? Being able to run or go for a long walk without actually having to go anywhere, and still being able to be comfortable in one location or in your own home. That's the gimmick. That's the reason for the purchase. These things should not be difficult to understand for people. These things should not be hard to learn. And again, this is more or less for people who grew up speaking this language, grew up with these words. You should know this. I'm not expecting someone who English is like their second, third, or maybe even fourth language. No, I'm not expecting that from people who learned it later on in life, because they have to work around barriers to understand these things. But people who grew up with this language, you don't have much of a barrier to work around. All you need to do is learn to comprehend what things mean, which isn't that hard to do. But okay, I'm done with the gimmick talk, and I'm done with talking about how the Switch should not be the Wii U. I'm done ranting at people about this. I think I'm just done at the moment. It's just like everyone's gotten to a craze over this thing without even really knowing anything about it. And like, yes, we can infer a lot of things. We can guess at a lot of things. We can speculate at a lot of things. But we really still know nothing. We know next to nothing about the Switch, other than it is a tablet. It's running on NVIDIA hardware. It's going to have a detachable controller that can be turned into two separate controllers. There's also going to be a Pro controller for it that is very similar to the Xbox One controller. I hate when I get tongue-tied. And that there is promise of a lot of third-party games. There is a lot of promise of a lot of third-party games. Those are the things we know. That, and that is supposed to come out sometime in March. And we're going to get information on it on January 12th. Those are the things we absolutely know about this. We don't know how long the battery life is going to last. We don't know if the Joy-Con controllers have infrared and motion control. We do not know if the Pro controller has motion control. We do not know if the screen on the tablet portion is a touch screen. We do not know how well the performance will increase once the Switch tablet is docked in the docking station and plugged into a television. We don't know if there will be an upgrade program for the Virtual Console, even though there's been rumors about that. We don't know if asymmetric gameplay would work. Well, we do know it could work, but we don't know if it will be utilized with 2 or more units. There's a lot of things we don't know about this. So it is just me thinking out loud here and just running myself through everything. People have gotten into a frenzy over this, and this is from the company that everyone says is irrelevant, says doesn't matter. They don't know anything about how to listen to their fans. They don't know how to address people. They don't know how to draw more people into their products, which I would beg to differ, seeing as how well the Wii, the DS, the 3DS, Amiibo, the NES Mini or Classic, either one's fine, Pokemon Go, and Miitomo all have done. I would definitely say you guys might be a little wrong about that. Granted, the Wii U didn't do the best, but they also still made money on it. Here's the thing: if I'm a company with a failing product and that product is still making me money, it's just not reaching the goals I set for it. Yeah, I'm gonna be upset, but I'm also understand I'm still making money. But yeah, I don't know what else to say right now. It's just I had so many thoughts swirling through my head at the moment. But I just look, people. Temper your attitudes, temper your thoughts, slow yourselves down. We're literally a few days over a month away from information about this thing. I think we're at 34 days. At the time of me recording this, we're at 34 days. Chill the hell out. Calm down, calm your nerves, chill out. I swear, it's just anything new gets announced by Nintendo and everyone loses their shit. Everybody. You can say, again, you can say that they don't matter. You can say that they're irrelevant. You can say that they're unimportant to the game industry and that you wish that they would disappear. But guess what? They are very important to this industry. And without them, a lot of the things that you like about gaming would not exist. That's the truth of the matter, whether you want to accept it or not. And the Switch could be pushing us forward into a new era of gaming. It could be. I don't know for sure. Don't know if that'll happen. I could say it would. I could predict that it would. But I don't know for sure that that's going to happen. But I just kind of want people to understand, you just need to chill the hell out. All of this tension and all of this anger and frustration, and it's mostly because people take stuff far beyond what it needs to be. It's just some people push things to a point where you just get irritated with them and you don't want to hear what they have to say. Not because you are opposed to their thoughts or whatever, but it's just they take it overboard to a point where it's just dude, I just can't deal with you right now. Calm the fuck down put your mind on something else. I just really can't deal with you right this moment. That's kind of how I am with a few people at the moment. And it's not because I don't like them. It's not because I just don't respect them or anything. But it's like, you kind of getting on my nerves at the moment. So I'm going to just let you be. I'm not going to fuck with you. And hopefully you don't come fucking around with me. Because if you do, we just going to have a problem. But I tend to not want to pick fights with people. Because I just don't like picking fights with people. It's just not my thing. But again, I will voice my opinion. So I'm done. I think I've exhausted most of what I've had to say, and probably points from other things that I've gotten sidetracked onto. But all of this in general encompasses problems that we have currently around the Switch itself. So that's really the whole point of this particular video, is just encompassing a lot of problems that have come up. Oh, damn it. There was one final point that I wanted to make, and Little Lion pointed this out to me, and I didn't realize I had said it in this way. But I kind of made it sound like the Switch was the Switch was like only Iwata, and it was only his hard work that created the product. And I wouldn't have even believed that I had said it until I listened back to the previous video for the Switch U, and I kind of was like, oh, I didn't realize I said it that way. I kind of thought I said Iwata and his staff created this, but this is his legacy. It is truly his legacy to the gaming industry and the gaming community. But I kind of made it sound like he was the only one that worked on it, which was not my intention, and I kind of want to clear that up before finishing this out. So thanks for pointing that out to me. I really didn't realize I had said it that way before, and once you kind of pointed it out to me, I was like, oh shit, let me go back and listen. I was like, oh damn, I did say that way. Okay, I need to make a clarification on that. But that's it. I'm finally done. No more talking about this. Thank you guys for listening. I know this is another long-winded video, but thanks for taking the time out of your day to sit here and listen to me gab on about basically the crap that's bugging me. So it's kind of therapeutic in a way. So keep your eyes and ears out for more stuff from me, and until the next time, enjoy your games. Peace out, people.